There's an opening on the board of directors for this organization, and there are two candidates for this position. One is a person with a disability who reflects the cultural diversity within the community. The other candidate does not have a disability, but carries a certain amount of influence, which could translate into some lucrative funding for the organization. So, what does it come down to? And how does it affect the core philosophy of consumer control? That's the quandary here.
Okay. Well, team, what are we going to do? We've got two equally qualified candidates to consider as members of our board. Who do we choose? Let's look at the pros and cons. Eric is not disabled, but he can be very influential financially. With the budget cuts we're facing, this is certainly something to consider. Elizabeth is disabled, represents an underserved community, and is just as qualified to do the job as Eric. So who should it be?
I think it's vital for us to keep diversity in the forefront. Our philosophy is to support consumer control and focus on underserved communities. Let's not forget the original notion of creating our own opportunities. That's the whole idea behind 50% of our board members being people with disabilities. I think naming Elizabeth will support the original intent and add to the cultural diversity of our board.
At the same time, the intent is also to expand services for people from the community as further needs are identified. I think appointing Eric would help serve that purpose. He's business savvy, which I think would help our mission considerably, particularly given our current financial situation. I don't think consumer control would be threatened.
Well, should both goals be considered? Can we find a way to include both objectives and extend the board appointments?
How would you cast your vote in this situation?